Good morning. I'm going to invite us to sit on something. I've got a bolster. You could sit on a block if you like. And I've just got my knees out here, and I'm sitting up on a height. And this allows me to open my legs out a bit more. If it's too much stress for you, you can put your blocks underneath here. And I'm just going to invite us just to start by settling in with our breath, by landing here on our mat. If that's uncomfortable for you, just cross your legs in front of you. Or you can sit in what's called fire log pose, which is your legs, your feet basically at each other's knee, but that might not be comfortable either. So I'm just going to sit like this. It's quite comfortable for me. All right. So today we're going to think about the first sutra, the first yoga sutra, which is Yoga Now. And it is about being present. It's quite difficult. We're in, on some level, quite challenging times. And part of it is our media brings home all kinds of stories that are really distressing and are demanding of our attention. So I'm going to just invite us to settle in and be present to ourselves and to take the next while to be here now. I was a hippie, and I remember that was a watchword of Baba Ram Dass when I was young. All right, we're breathing. We're going to breathe into our belly and then our chest, our lower ribs, and then our chest. Sorry, belly, lower ribs, and then our chest. So, and we can put our hands on our belly, inhale, and then inhale some more. And then inhale, hook your thumbs under your armpits and inhale into your chest. And then exhale from the top down. So we're inhaling into our belly, our ribs, and our upper chest. And then we're exhaling from the top down. Good. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And you can keep on going, breathing evenly. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, good. Now that we've settled into our mat, I want us I'm going to now get rid of my bolster, and I'm sitting on the floor thinking about two things, and that is the Sukha and Sthira, the steadiness, effort, and ease. So one of the teachers I've been interested in is D.K.V. Desikachar, who wrote The Heart of Yoga. And he has some interesting things to say about sweetness and steadiness. So here I'm just holding onto my toes, and I'm pressing my legs towards the ground. I'm opening my groin up just by simply pressing. And at the same time, I'm lifting my head up. So we're moving in several directions. Our legs are going down and our spine and our head are going up. There's what's called axial elongation. We're making space between our vertebrae. It's as though we can stretch our vertebrae up. Good, just keep stretching. And we'll keep stretching up while we are stretching our legs down. Good. And we'll feel our spine elongate at this moment. Now, let's just sit in Dandasana for a moment. Legs straight out, pressing through our heels, pressing through our toe mounds, and imagining that we are really pressing into both our baby toe mound and our big toe mound, and and our heels, and that really allows us to feel the arch in our feet. And as we feel the arch in our feet, we can feel our thighs descending here. So we're stretching up here. We could have a strap here, and we could stretch our arms up and open. And we could move our arms back behind us, and then opening up and over. And back behind us, and up and over. Back behind us, and up and over. Good. Now let's put our strap around the balls of our feet. And once again, we can feel ourselves, but this gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to really feel ourselves ascending in the spine as we draw forward. And we're going forward just gently. We have our spine straight and we're going forward. Now, if you have problems with osteoporosis, you don't really want to curve your back over. So you can just maintain your stretch here with a straight back, moving down. So this is we're tipping right from the hips. And at the same time we're doing that, we're still pressing out through our heels, pressing down through our thighs, and we're pressing out through our toe mounds so that it's as though our feet are flat on a surface, on an invisible surface. And then if you're up for it, if you can curve over, just drop your spine over top and hold on to the outside of your feet. So here we're just allowing for our body. You could hold on to your shins or your ankles or the outside of your feet, or you could be quite far up here, just holding onto the strap and working to descend. But you really want to go forward as well as descend. It's quite a bit forward, moving yourself forward and elongating over top. And then just drop your head. And we'll just breathe into our back body. It's very open here. We're exhaling and we're inhaling. And we're exhaling. And we're feeling when we're inhaling, our body rises up a bit. And as we exhale, we might be able to go further forward and down. You can use your elbows here to help you extend forward and down by bending your elbows. And now we're just going to draw ourselves up, roll ourselves up. And we can bring our hands behind us. Our fingers are facing away from us. And we're going to lift our hips up and drop our feet down and see if we can move into a reverse plank. And now we're going to come down. It's very intense. We can bring our feet in and just curve over top of our knees here, just bending. Good. Now we'll extend the right, your left leg out, and you can lift your right foot over to the outside of your left thigh and stretch up. You can hold on to your knee if you like, and really feel yourself lifting up, pushing into this backhand and lifting up. If you like, you can bend this knee and bring it in, or you can leave it out like that. And you can hold on to the knee as you're turning towards and having our first morning twist. And really feeling our chest lift up, our collarbone lift up and around. So the movement is, as in much of yoga, doubled. It is moving up and around. You can also extend that arm out and press into that thigh and use that to give yourself a little bit of an added twist. Good. Now we're going to turn around the other way. We'll lift the left knee up, put it over outside, put the foot outside the right thigh. I'm keeping this leg extended for the minute, pushing into the back arm, lifting up your right arm, and then turning as you're lifting, and then dropping it down over your leg here. And I'm turning, and really feeling a beautiful rotation. And I'm going to bend that front knee and bring that foot into my glute. And once again, turn, feeling that beautiful twist. And as we know, mobility of the spine is essential for us to thrive at any age. If we're able to move our spine, it's important to be able to move it in all kinds of directions, twisting to the side, to the front, to the back. And we're inhaling and exhaling here again. Good, now we'll come around and we will just lay on our back for a moment and lift our legs straight up. You could be against the wall if you like, or you can just leave them up like this. And we're going to do some ankle turns. But this is a lovely inversion that we don't have to be on our head or our hands. We can do this inversion on the ground, supine. And we can also do our ankle exercises. At the same time, we can clench our fists and then stretch out our fingers, and clench our fists, stretch out our fingers. We can do that with our feet too, clenching our toes and then stretching them out. Clenching our toes and then stretching them out. Clenching in and out, in and out. And then we can rotate our wrists and our ankles. Good. And we can just extend our knees up and down and twirl them around a little here, just to get them a little bit of movement. Swirl our arms around. And now we can just stretch the legs straight out, our arms straight out. We can stretch one side and then the other. One side and then the other. Good. Now let's do a little bit of a bridge here. We might start with the back bend. Sometimes I end with these, but now since we're on our back, we're going to feel the strength of our body. We're going to put our feet as close to our glutes as we can. We're pressing into our feet. Our feet can be apart a bit if you like. And then we're just going to tip the pelvis up and then lower it down. So this is a subtle movement here. We're just tipping our pelvis up and then lowering it down. And we're moving into the bridge slowly to give our spines time to release here. And if you like, you can hold on to the sides of your mat, or when we're up there, you can clasp your hands and move your shoulders under your torso. So we're just slowly curling our feet, our spine up. So we're lifting our pelvis here, holding onto the sides of the mat, and then we're going to roll down. And then we're going to do this one more time, pressing into our feet, lifting up, and then we're going to unrolling my shoulders under, clasping my hands, and extending my knees towards the opposite wall. So this is an invitation for you to really stretch your pelvis up, your chest up, and to really let your head relax. Pressing into my heels, pressing at my knees forward, my thighs up, my pelvis up, my chest up. And now we're going to roll down here again. Good. And I'm going to clasp my hands around my shins and roll back and forth. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Pressing our feet into the ground, pressing our pelvis, our thighs, our chest up, and really feeling the second time is a charm. I feel much more open. And we're inhaling here and exhaling, feeling the openness of our chest, pressing our feet into the ground, really pressing up, inhaling and exhaling. And now we're going to roll down and once again, lift our knees up, bring them into our chest, and give yourselves a little hug and a little bit of rock and roll. All right, let's stretch the legs out. We've done forward bends with our spine curving over. We've done a back bend there. And now we're going to do a more official side bend. We're just going to stretch our arms up, our feet out, and we're going to we're going to scoot our arms over towards the right and our legs over towards the right. We're going to take our left foot and cross it over our right, and we're going to clasp our left arm with our right hand, our left wrist with our right wrist. So we're really curving here towards your right. And we're feeling that the side body is open. And when we're breathing, when we're inhaling, we can feel that side body expand. It's as though we can open up our ribs like an accordion with our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Now we're going to stretch our feet and arms up, and we're going to do the opposite. So we're moving our hands and our feet over towards your left, and we're going to pick up our right foot and cross it over our right to give us a little bit more of a curve. And we're going to hold on to the right wrist with our left hand and draw the top part of our body, arc it over a little bit more. So we're really in a lovely little curve here. And we are breathing into that open side rib on your right body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, now we're just going to extend our body up again. You can stretch again as you did at the beginning of the class, and then lower your arms down by your side and just relax your body for a moment in Shavasana as we take a moment to gather ourselves and to feel the effects of the first few moments of our time on the mat. How do we feel? Do we feel a little more open? A little more extended? A little more expansive? Good. Now we're just going to go onto our side and push ourselves up. And we'll go right now into this lovely pose where we put our forearms on the ground and we just lift our, I think this is fish pose, and we just lift our chest up here. So this is a good shoulder opening movement and a back bend. You can point your toes if you like, or you can press out through your heels. And now you can press up through your hands. And we're going to just come up to a standing position. Good. Well, now that we're all stretched out and feeling very open, we can really go wild with our standing postures and think about the joyfulness in it, the sweetness of it, and the strength. Okay, so here we are. We're going to just open our arms up and look at your thumbs. And then we're going to, I'm inviting you just to fall forward as though your bottom half of your body is really filled with strength and steadiness. And then the top part of your body is really filled with looseness, relaxation. So we feel the energy moving up from our heels to our hips as we feel our upper part of our torso and our arms descending. And you might have blocks here if you find it difficult to go down to the ground. If you feel you need more support. I'm just going to feel the looseness of this. I'm thinking about steadiness and sweetness and joy as that sensation of being grounded in the lower part of our body and completely released in our upper torso. And now we're going to come up a halfway lift and we'll draw our arms up our shins and we'll press into our shins and press into our hands. So this is actually a bit of a back bend here. And we want to feel both strength and sweetness. And now we're going to move down again into forward fold, put our hands on the ground, bring our left foot back, knee to the ground, and come up into our hands together, looking at our thumbs. And then open them out. Frame your front foot, draw back into your plank. And we're just going to stay here in a plank, feeling the strength of our body and working with the kind of isometrics of just drawing your belly in towards your spine, feeling your outer thighs, feeling your heels moving back, imagining that your legs are leg thighs are pressing up, and you are just holding. And now you can come down, knees, chest, chin, or you can put your knees on the ground and come down, or you can come down in chaturanga. And here we're going to do a few back bends. We'll put our hands out beside us and lift up onto our fingertips, and then just lift our chest up, and then our head, and then drop them down. So we're lifting our chest up first and pressing up, and then we're lifting our head up and holding here and breathing. And then we're going to come down, and we'll do that one more time. Breathing here. And then down again. Now we're going to put our hands in Sphinx position, our forearms in Sphinx. Our elbows are beneath our shoulders. We're pressing in to the floor with our forearms and our palms. And we're simply opening and our chest, lifting our collarbones up, feeling that our spine is elongated and that we're not dropping our head back or forward. And if you like, you can extend your arms forward into swan, straightening your elbows, pressing into the ground, and feel your spine curving up a little bit more. Developing your mobility in your spine, your strength in your arms, and a sense of calm and resilience. Drawing your shoulder blades down your back. And now we're just going to come back down. You can put your head on one side on the palms of your hand and rest for a moment. Take a few breaths, turn your toes in together, touch your big toes. And now press your hands into the mat and press up into upward dog. And then lift your hips up and press back into downward dog. And here we're going to just take a little bit of a body scan here to see what's going on when we're in downward dog. Feel the pressing into our full palm and all of our fingers. We can especially press into the thumb pad, and we can feel it's as though the bottom half of our arms are rotating in, while the top half of our arms are rotating out. It's a kind of impossible movement, but that is the mental impression. So we want to rotate our upper arms out so that our shoulder blades are going down our spine, and feel the pressure on our whole hand. And we're pressing back, our thighs are going back, and we can lift up onto our toes and do a little bit of a bend of the knee just to work your hamstrings a little bit, your lower hamstrings and your calf. Now, and once again, we're up on our tiptoes, and I'm going to lower one leg, one heel, and then I'm going to lower the other. And see how I'm doing now. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And I'm going to lift that left leg up, bend the knee, and drop the heel towards the glute. And feel as though your hips are located on top of each other while your shoulders are even. And now I'm going to stretch that leg up again. Bring the knee in to the elbow and then stretch back. Bring the knee into the nose and then stretch back. Bring the knee into the opposite elbow and stretch back and then come down. Good. And lift that leg up one more time. Bring the knee in and bring it forward with the knee down and lifting up, looking up at the thumbs. Good. And bringing that leg forward and just forward bend is such a beautiful pose. The strength of the lower body and the sweetness and lightness of the upper body just floating towards the ground. And now we're going to open our arms up and come up and look up to our thumbs, open out and stand in Tadasana. So we can just wiggle a bit here and feel ourselves opening out. Good. Okay. Now let's do the other side. Look up. We'll do it a bit more quickly this time and then open out, forward fold, halfway lift, inhaling and then exhaling, forward fold. And your right leg back, knee to the ground, arms up, look up, and then open your arms out, frame that front foot back into plank. We're just going to be here for a moment. Then we're going to lower down. You can come down, knees, chest, chin. You can put your knees down and come down, or you can come down in chaturanga and then forward into either cobra, low to the ground, or upward dog. And here we're going to stay here for a moment, feeling the curve in our spine. Then we're turning our toes under and going back into downward dog. Going to lift that right leg up and then bring that knee up, the right knee up to the ceiling, and dropping the foot towards the glute. Feeling your hips are stacking and your arms, your shoulders are equidistant from the ground. I think it's hard to tell when you're in the middle of it. All right, let's straighten up that leg and then bring the knee to the elbow, straighten up, bring the knee to your nose, straighten up, bring your knee to your opposite elbow and straighten up. And now bring that knee with that leg all the way to the front and drop your knee. There. And lift up and look up. Open your arms out, bring the back leg forward into forward bend. And just rest here for a moment. Feeling the sweetness of being here at this very minute. And feeling the steadiness of your legs. All right, now we're going to open our arms up and come up. Inhaling. And look up. And exhale and stand. Good. Now I'm just going to do something with my shoulders. I'm just going to open my arms out and then I'm going to embrace myself. Open my arms out and then I'm going to embrace myself. Out and embrace. Good. Out. Good. And now we're going to just do a few finger exercises again. Holding onto our thumb, spreading our fingers out. thumb and fingers, all the way up to the top and all the way out to the sides. Then we're going to walk up like little spiders, up the wall, climbing the wall, climbing back down. Metaphorically speaking, it's always useful to imagine being able to do this when you're really tense. What are you doing? I'm just climbing the wall. Good for me. Good. And we can fiddle up there. Oh, good, good. Okay. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Good. All right. Now let's come down to a toe squat and do something good for our toes. So we're just, if it's easier for you, you can have a block in front of you for your knees. But the action here is to get up onto your toes. And you can stretch your toes out. I have a bunion that's beginning to form at this old age. So I really have to stretch my toes out. And I'm sitting on my heels. I don't know whether you can see that or not. And you can use a block for your knees if you like. That it gives you a little bit of more ease. Or you can just sit back on your feet and let your toes feel the pleasure of their stretching. It's not the most pleasant feeling, but it is very good for our toes. And it helps us with our balance. It helps us with walking. And it helps us keep our toes mobile. All right. And I can just grab my strap here and maybe I can do something with my shoulders. I can do this shoulder opening movement while I'm sitting here. Might as well kill two birds. What a terrible expression, with one stone. Anyway, let's not kill two birds, but let's do this as well as sitting on our heels. Good. There we go. And now let's lean forward. We can lift our toes up. We can straighten our feet out. We can slap them gently on the ground just to give them a little bit of liveliness. Now you can also go back and open out onto your, stretch your feet out, your front of your foot, by leaning back onto your feet and lifting your knees up. So you're opening the front of your feet here. It isn't a pleasant experience, I can tell you that, but it's good for your feet, apparently. Good. Oh. And you do it for as long as you can tolerate it and then come down. I can't tolerate it for too long, actually. All right, I'm coming down now, but you can stay up if you like. And I'm moving forward. I'm going to go back and stand up again onto my forward fold. And then I'm just going to roll up here. Okay, here we are. I put a wind chime out on the porch and I can hear it chiming. It's so beautiful. Don't know whether you can hear it or not, but it's a lovely sound. Okay, here we are. We'll try our standing poses here. And we will just start with a pyramid pose. So we're facing the front of our mat and we have a step, not a wide stance. It's not like a warrior. It's about 3 feet apart. And we're just going to draw you'll have your left foot forward and we're bending at the hip here and just folding forward with a straight back into pyramid. And if you like, you could have a block or two here to give you some support, or you can just draw that front thigh back. You can put your hand into that hip if you like, draw it back, and then you can fold over the front leg.
You can either stay up in blocks, or you can fold over, whatever feels comfortable. And I want us just to lift our toes up and lift your baby toes up too, and feel the arches on both sides of your feet, and then spread your toes and put them down again. And you can really feel you're pressing into that back heel, and you are allowing yourself just to fold over. And if you can put a block on the inside of the front foot, and put your flat of your hand on that block, or you could put it on the floor, and then you can twist your body and do a revolved triangle here, pressing into your feet, pressing and turning around and breathing. And now we're going to swing up like a windmill, and move to the other side. So we'll just put that front foot here. I'll put the block there for now. And we have our foot about 3 feet back. The heel of your front foot should be in line with the arch of your back foot. And we're just going to turn towards the short end of your mat and fold forward again into that lovely pyramid. And you can just round over. Or once again, if you like, you can have 2 blocks and you can be on blocks here. So, and while I'm here, I want to make sure I'm using my whole body. I'm feeling the energy move from the front heel up to up the hamstring. So the energy is moving up, and you want to feel the opening in the strength in your calf and in your lower thigh hamstring, as well as you don't want to overstretch the attachment at the top of your hip. So you really want to feel your whole leg you're pressing into your heel, into the whole foot, into your toe mounds, and you are drawing that hip back and feeling yourself surrender over your leg. And it is a surrender. We are truly here right now because we are surrendering to our body, and we're letting go while we're standing with very strong legs. And we can press into our lower hand here. You can have it on a block if you like. And so we've got the block on the inside of the front foot, and we are rotating up. And we're rotating our chest up while pressing into the ground. And we're breathing here. And now we're going to windmill our way back to standing, turn our feet in, and we're going to bring them wide in the mat here. Good. Now, you can have 2 blocks here in the front if you like, as a support here if you like, as we're going to come down. So we're just up with our feet wide apart. The feet are parallel to the short ends of the mat, and we're going forward on our hip. We're hinging at the hip rather, and we're dropping. We can have our hands on blocks here if we like, underneath our shoulders, or we can lower ourselves to the ground here with our hands under our shoulders, and we can use our elbows to bring our back down. So I'm trying to work with a straight back here, as straight as possible. And when I'm doing that, I'm pressing into my feet, lifting my toes up, using my arches to really spark fire into my legs. And I'm stretching all of my hamstring. That is, I'm pressing my thighs back. If you hyperextend, do bend your knees slightly. Otherwise, you can just press your thighs back and you can walk your hands back between your feet. Press into your hands. If you like, you could put a block or two or whatever you need underneath your head, and you could just lower your head and feel the crown chakra, the energy space in the crown chakra, which is the very tip top of your head. And this, you can see, eventually would be a tripod handstand that you could do. You could just put your head on the ground and press into your hands and lift your legs up into a handstand. But we're not going to do that today. But I am pressing into my thighs and I'm feeling my tailbone lifting up. Good. And now I'm going to come up, move the blocks out of the way, and I'm going to walk over to your left ankle. Hold on to the ankle and draw myself towards my leg here. Stretching my hamstrings. And now I'm walking back to the other side, holding onto my ankle or whatever part of the body you can manage, and bending my elbows. So I'm actually pressing my thighs back because I want all of my hamstrings to be stretching, not just at the top where the attachments are. And now I'm walking back, and I'm just going to have my hands lift my arms up so that my arms are straight out. My arms are at my ears, and I'm going to tip up. Good. And now I'm opening my arms out and rolling my shoulders, and I'm wiggling my legs in slightly. Good. Now I'm going to turn the front foot out, the back foot in slightly, wiggle it out a little, and bend that front knee into a warrior two pose. It's lots of strength here, lots of openness, and I'm stretching out and dropping my forearm to my thigh and lifting my upper arm up over my ear so that I'm on a diagonal. And I'm opening my chest out and turning it up towards the ceiling. Feeling the strength in your lower body and the lightness of your upper body. And now we're going to come back, and I'm dropping my leg down the back and lifting my arm up and over. And then I'm going to go back into that extended side angle, and I'm going to draw back. And one last time, extended side angle, and then drawing back. Now I'm going to straighten that leg out, and I'm just going to descend down into a triangle and lift the upper arm up, looking up, feeling a great deal of beauty. Now I'm going to lift up, turn my legs to the other side, bend that front knee into a warrior pose. Feel this thigh, both the thighs rotating, externally rotating. The arms, energy is moving in both directions. Now we're shifting forward and then dropping the elbow down to the thigh or the forearm down to the thigh, lifting the top arm up and over into an extended side angle as we turn our chest to the ceiling. And we're breathing here. And now we're going to come back, draw our hand down our back thigh, lift our arm over, and then we're going to do the other direction. And then we're going to draw our arm over, and then one more time, and draw our arm over again. And this time we're going to straighten the front leg, and we're going to drop our hand down to our thigh and just stretch down into Trikonasana with both legs straight, looking up, chest opening, and holding, breathing, feeling the steadiness, the invitation to steadiness, the movement towards steadiness. Now we're going to come up, turn our legs in, and we'll just walk in towards the center, or you can jump in if you like, if you do anger. All right, here we are. So let's move down. Let's just roll down the front of our body, put our hands out, and sit back onto our behind. And we're going to lay on our back here and just do a few movements for our hips and final relaxation. So we're lifting our legs up, our knees up, and holding and rolling a little. Then we're going to just put our arms straight out, and we can put our legs out the width of our mat, and then drop our knees towards the right. And really feel when you're dropping them towards the right, the left knee that's down, we're really pressing up through the hip here to open the front of the hip, as well as drop that knee down. And then we're going to do the other way. We can drop that leg down and that knee down and really press up through the hip so that you're opening the front thigh a little. And then we're going to come back. And the other way, we're just going to move easily one way to the other. This is just a lovely hip movement. Good. Very good. And now we're going to just bring our knees into our body again, and we'll cross our right ankle over top of our left knee, or sorry, our left ankle over top of our right knee, and bring in that leg. You can hold on to the front, to the shin. You can put your hand through the keyhole of your figure four and hold on to the front of the shin or the back of the thigh, whatever feels good. And you want to press that bent, in your case, the left knee out as you draw in the right. So they're moving in opposite directions. So your left knee you're pressing that thigh and knee out, and you're drawing in with the shin and the knee of your right leg. Good. And now you're going to just reverse the figure four. And once again, you can put your hands on the inner thigh, or you can put your hands on the outer shin and draw that knee in that you're holding on to. At the same time, you can use your elbow actually to help you extend the other knee out so that you are moving, making some opening in your hip here. And I like to move slightly. You can stay completely still if you like, or I just rock gently in this pose. I feel as though it helps me with my movement. And now we're going to put we're going to go inside of our thighs, hold on to the outer edge of our feet, and press the soles of our feet up to the ceiling in happy baby pose. And once again, if you like, you can move back and forth a little, rock back and forth, and feel the lovely opening there. Good. And now we're going to extend our legs out. And we're just going to feel the love of the last 55 minutes of really feeling the opening of our body. And I'm going to invite you to imagine you're on a grassy slope. You're surrounded by beautiful flowering trees. There are birds calling gently, quietly, spiritedly. And you feel your breath coming easily as your chest rises and falls, rises and falls. And I'm going to leave you in a few moments of silence as you melt into that grassy hillside. So this is TKV Desikachar from the Heart of Yoga. Even if we achieve the steadiness and alertness of Sthira, there must also be the comfort and lightness of Sukha, and both must be present for a certain length of time. Without both these qualities, there is no asana for a certain period of time, and we don't feel alert and we don't feel unstressed. We should endeavor to bring qualities of gentleness and steadiness to our asana practice, all while making sure that we exert progressively less effort in developing them. So we want to feel the fire of Sthira, that moment of being present when we feel discomfort, whether we are distracted in our mind or we are very, very intensely extended in our body. So we want to feel the fire in our body. We also want to find stability in the body while practicing asanas. So there's steadfastness in the posture. And we also want to feel the letting go. So Shavasana is a form of letting go, of arriving. It's here where we can relax, we can integrate all the movements we've accomplished in the last hour, and we can just let everything go in this sweet moment of the present. And I'll invite you now to feel yourself present to yourself. You can feel the
tingling of your fingers as you touch your fingers with your thumb. You can feel your toes wiggling and your feet and your ankles. And you can move your shoulders, circle your shoulders around. And in your own time, you can move onto your side and push yourself up into a seated position. But do stay where you are if that's where you want to be. And it's a very beautiful day here. It's very windy, but the sky is blue. It's quite gorgeous out. And I'll just thank you for being here. And I will put my palms together and bow to you as a teacher, and bow to the teacher in me, and bow to you as a student, and bow to the student in me. Thank you.